Eleanor. Grandma's got another fun story to read you about a little girl who loves to dress up. This is called Fancy Nancy, written by Jane O'Connor. Boy, doesn't she look fancy? Oh my gosh. There she is again. Oh, look at that. It says, "This is my room before I made it fancy." Wow, what a nice room. She's got all those shelves and stuff to dress up with and toys and a baby doll. There she is. Let's see what it looks like after she made it fancy. Oh my goodness, is that the same room? I love being fancy. My favorite color is fuchsia. That's a fancy word for saying purple. I like to write my name with a pen that has a plume. That's a fancy way of saying feather. And I can't wait to learn French because everything in French sounds fancy. Nobody in my family is fancy at all. They never even ask for sprinkles. Look at that. They've gone to the ice cream shop, and Dad and Mom and little sister all just have plain ice cream cones. But Nancy has a sundae with all different colors and lots of sprinkles. Oh my goodness, look at her heart-shaped glasses and her fancy boa around her neck. And everybody else is just plain. Are you plain or fancy? I wonder. There's a lot they don't understand. Lace-trimmed socks do help me play soccer better. Oh, she's headed off to play soccer and Mom didn't think she should dress up so fancy. And sandwiches definitely taste better when you stick in frilly toothpicks. There she is, bringing her daddy a plate of very fancy sandwiches. Now she's got streamers hanging out of her hair and her skirt and big fluffy slippers on. A princess is supposed to keep her tiara on. Oh gosh, look, she's trying to get her little sister to keep the crown on her head, and she's even putting Scotch tape on it. Oh no. What's a fancy girl to do? I ask my doll, Marabella. Her full name is Marabella Lavinia Chandelier. Whoa, what a fancy, fancy name. And even her doll is dressed up with a crown on her head. And then I get an idea that's stupendous. That's a fancy way of saying great. Look, they're in the grocery store, and she finds a bulletin board that has all kinds of lessons and classes and things. I wonder what she's going to do. What kind of idea did she get? Maybe I can teach my family how to be fancy. I make an ad and I stick it to the refrigerator. It says, "Learn to be fancy with lessons from Nancy. Start today. Easy, fun, free." Oh, there we go. Look at Nancy. She's peeking out of the refrigerator. Oh, goodness. I wonder if anybody's going to notice her sign and want to take the class or the lessons. Oh, my gosh, look at that. Oh, soon there's a knock on my door. My family saw the ad and they want to get started right away. Oh, my gosh. So Nancy has a board that says plain, that's yellow, but the fancy word is gold. Leather or patent leather. Glasses or sunglasses. Oh boy. We can be plain, a plain hat, or a fancy hat. Look at all the plain shoe and the fancy shoe. A plain doll and a fancy doll. Oh my gosh. Oh, her sister's sticking her leg up. She wants to maybe learn how to dance like Nancy does. Oh, I just noticed Mom's using the fancy pen with the plume, the feather, and Dad's taking notes. Wow. So they look in their closet. Goodness. The trouble is, my family doesn't own any fancy clothes. Oh no. But don't worry, here comes Nancy to the rescue. That's okay. I go find, what is the fancy word? Oh, yeah, some accessories. Oh, boy. She's got all kinds of things in here, beads and bubbles and hair stuff and hats, all kinds of bows, a bag of bows and silk flowers. Wow. Oh, look at her fancy shoes. They're all laced up. Ooh la la! My family is posh. That's a fancy way of saying fancy. Woo! My mom twirls in front of the mirror. Why don't we go somewhere fancy tonight, she says. How about dinner at the King's Crown, Dad suggests. Wow, my parents are acting fancier already. Look, she's leaping in the air. She's so excited. Even her little sister is looking fancier, isn't she? Cool. May I escort you lovely ladies outside? The limousine is waiting. Oh, that's what her dad says. The limousine, oh, look at that. It's their old car, isn't it? My dad is our chauffeur. That's a fancy word for driver. Cool. Oh my gosh, look what happens when they walk in the door of the restaurant. When we arrive at the King's Crown, everyone looks up. They probably think we're movie stars. Aha. She's sort of acting like a movie star, isn't she? Ta-da, here we are. Fancy people. Look, there's a little girl over here. She's wearing a crown too. I think the restaurant gives out crowns. I am so proud of my whole family. They eat with their pinkies up. Oh, look, their little pinkies sticking in the air. There's Mom with her pinky up, and sister's trying it too. And they call each other darling. Oh, darling, darling. For dessert, let's have parfaits, says my mom. That's French for ice cream sundaes. Amazing! My mom knows French. When our parfaits are ready, I curtsy and say merci. That's French for thank you. Merci. Uh-oh, did you notice something? Uh-oh, look what happened. Oh no, her lace came undone. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Oh no. I carry the tray like a fancy waiter, holding it up in the air. Oops. I trip. I slip. The tray does a double flip. Oh my goodness. Look at all the people. Oh, that poor little girl. She fell and all the sundaes spilled all over the floor. I don't feel fancy anymore. I want to go home. Oh, her family is helping her. Her sister's even bringing her her crown. And Mom is helping her get up. Oh boy. After I get all cleaned up, I put on my dressing gown. Those are fancy words for bathrobe. I feel much better. I'm ready for a parfait. I tell my parents, thank you for being fancy tonight. Ah, look, sprinkles. Oh, goodness, they're not just having a plain old ice cream cone. They're having fancy stuff. Oh, she gets a big hug from her sister, doesn't she? I love you, my dad says. I love you, my mom says. And all I say back is, I love you, because there isn't a fancy or better way of saying that. I love you. Fancy, fancy. Oh, and that's the story of Fancy Nancy. So, Eleanor, do you have a fancy family? Or is your family plain and dull like Grandma? Look at this. I'm wearing a black sweater. I'm not very fancy. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh. Grandma's getting fancier. Oh, wow. What can Grandma do to get fancy? Look at those pretty necklaces. Wait a minute. Oh, let me put my hair back. Ooh, I've got fancy earrings on. What else can I find? Oh, oh my goodness. Here's a fancy shawl. Wow. There we go. Getting a little fancier now, Grandma. What else? Do you like to dress up, Eleanor? Sometimes it's fun to get fancy, isn't it? There, now, what else has Grandma got? Oh, you know what? I've got some really fancy gloves here, too. My friend Judy helped me find some fancy stuff. Look at that. Silver gloves. Have you ever seen anything so fancy as silver gloves? Wow. Okay, Grandma, now what's next? Oh, hard to get that glove on. Oh, wait a minute. Look. There, I can make my hair a little fancier with this headband. And oh, how about some green beads? I need some green beads. There we go. Oh, much fancier. Whoops, there goes my headband. Right down. Oh, it's not very fancy, is it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the fanciest of all. Look at this. Whoa. My friend Judy had this really cool boa. Wow. Isn't that cool? And oh, she loaned me her cool feather. There I am. Fancy Grandma. I'm not Fancy Nancy, but oh, one last fancy touch. Look at my new glasses. Oh, what do you think about Grandma now? Is Grandma fancy or what? Wow. It's fun to be fancy. I love you, Eleanor. Can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.